Okay, so I'm learning that you all have some good goddamn singers in Norway because that was incredible. Hey y'all, I'm Jay. I'm a singing and songwriting teacher, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Aurora singing God is a Woman by Ariana Grande. Now, I don't know a lot about Aurora, but this is my favorite Ariana Grande song, so I'm excited. Let's get into it. This already feels really different.
You love it how I move you, you love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman.
So
Feel
pretty.
it after midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done, you believe God is a woman.
Her voice is so light and ethereal, and it's more on the head register dominant side. So that's kind of what allows voices like that to move really quickly with like riffs and runs and also be really, really smooth with their sound. Voices like that, aren't huge and bombastic, but they have an extraordinary amount of control over their voice with the flexibility and just the holding kind of like the integrity of phrases together. This is already so pretty sounding. Wow.
I don't want to waste no time. You ain't got a one-track mind. Have it any way you like. Na 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 na. Ain't nobody else can relate. Boy, I like that you ain't afraid. Baby, lay me down and let's pray. Na 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 na. And I can be anything you told me not to be. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing. And it sees the universe when I'm in this company. It's all in me, all in me.
Whoa. I have chills from when the background vocalist came in. And the background vocalist came in and matched her register quality and like the vowel shapes perfectly. So they sounded so together and so tight and so beautiful. That gave me chills. Wow.
Love it how I move you, you love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman. Feel it after.
And it looks like the guitarist is singing with them as well. So that adds like this another layer of just like this lower frequency that's filling out the spectrum of sound a little bit more so that the overall sound feels fuller and denser. And wow, that it sounds so good. It sounds so lush.
Midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done, you believe God is a woman.
I like how she moves her hands. Very Wanda-ish.
Tell you all the things you should know. So baby, take my hand, save your soul. We can make it last, take it slow. Na 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 na. And I can be everything you told me not to be. When I try to come for me, I keep on flourishing. And it sees the universe when I'm in this company. It's all in me, all in me.
Oh, yes. Little acapella moment. Yes.
Love it how I move you, you love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman. Feel it after midnight, a feeling that I can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done, you believe God is a woman. God is a woman. God is a woman. God is a woman. God is a woman.
That was incredible. Wow. Okay, so I'm learning that you all have some good goddamn singers in Norway because that was incredible. My mind is blown from that actually. It was so different. It was so beautiful. It was I don't know. I felt like I was hearing something out of like this an epic Lord of the Rings soundtrack as opposed to like an R&B banger. And I love both, but it was just so refreshing to hear a take like that on this particular song or a song like this. I really like that even the arrangement itself seemed to focus on like these long patty instruments like the piano and the synths in the background. That sounded really hollow and warm, and they sounded like her voice. They really complemented her kind of sonic branding, her sonic aesthetic as an artist. And I think that really small details like that, like the instruments that accompany you and kind of support you lining up like that that's a beautiful thing to see. I love that a lot. And overall, like the direction that she took the song in from just like a viewpoint was very interesting to me because this one, the original Ariana is clearly talking about herself, but in this one, it almost felt like Aurora was talking about someone else. She was talking about like a higher deity of some sort. It was almost like she was putting, chanting something to kind of get this being to arise or something. It was really, really incredible, especially towards the end when she had like a really significantly darker vowel than she had before, and what I assume would be like a lower larynx. You can't always tell a lot of the times, but just based on the sound and how vocal anatomy works, I would assume that her larynx was kind of sitting low. God is a woman. God is a woman. It really had like this chanty element to it, like she was, calling this higher force to come out. It was bone chilling.
God is a woman. God is a woman.
And when the other background singers joined her on that too, it's added so much to it because it added some high layers and low layers. It just made the frequency spectrum feel more full, more rich, more lush. As far as her like overall singing, it seems like she's doing something called a sprite onsets, meaning that she has a little bit of air as opposed to going directly on to the vowels that she's singing. So basically, instead of going there's a little bit of an H. Ha, 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 ha.
And it sees the universe when I'm in this company. It's all in me, all in me.
And what that allows her to do is it gives her like that airy kind of quality to her voice. And people that have a sprite onsets like that are able to move their voice in a way that's like really quick. So if you're having, issues with like vocal riffs or just overall flexibility, adding a little bit of an H sound in there can really, really help. It also helps with smoothness for your overall phrases if you want to get, that feeling of just connectivity throughout the lines that you're singing, which always sounds really pretty. So that's something that we generally want to have anyway. And that type of, onset really helps with that.
Your love is how I touch you, my one.
So yeah, overall, my mind was blown. I had chills during a lot of it. I felt like I was just watching somebody cast spells for like 3 minutes. It was incredible. All right, so that was my reaction to God is a Woman by Aurora. I thought that was incredible, but let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And also keep leaving me suggestions. I love to read through all the comments and get suggestions as well because it kind of opens me up to singers and songs that I might not have heard of before. And as always, if you found anything that I said helpful or valuable or anything like that, feel free to hit like, subscribe, comment, all of that great stuff. It genuinely does help and I appreciate it. Thanks.